Audiophiles like to think of themselves as careful listeners, and in one sense that's true. We listen closely. We notice small differences. We care about nuance in a way most people simply don't. But when it comes to optimization, to systematically improving a system, audiophiles are, frankly, quite bad at it. Not because we lack intelligence, but because we are human. And human perception is a deeply unreliable instrument when it's left to operate on its own. Most audiophile decision-making is driven by three things: expectation, memory, and narrative. We hear something after a change, we like the story attached to it, and our brain fills in the rest. This isn't a moral failing. It's how perception works. Our hearing is contextual, adaptive, and easily influenced by what we believe should be happening. That's why different people listen to the same music and system and come away with completely different conclusions, both of them sincere. This is also why audiophile forums are full of absolute certainty and almost no convergence. One person swears a cable transformed their system. Another insists it's impossible. Both are convinced the other is deaf, biased, or dishonest. What's really happening is simpler. They're optimizing by anecdote. Optimization, in the engineering sense, means reducing error against a known objective. A prominent forum with this mindset is Audioscience Review with Amir's incisive analysis. But audiophiles rarely agree on what the objective even is. Some want tonal accuracy. Some want emotional impact. Some want scale. Some want intimacy. And many want all of these at once, without trade-offs. That's not optimization. That's wishful thinking. This is where artificial intelligence enters the conversation, and also where many people immediately misunderstand it. AI is not here to tell you what sounds good. It cannot experience music. It has no taste. What it can do is something audiophiles are remarkably poor at. It can evaluate complex systems without ego, without fatigue, and without emotional attachment to sunk costs. Consider a typical system change. You move a speaker slightly. You change a filter. You add a subwoofer. You listen for a while. Your brain adapts. Your memory of the before fades almost immediately. Within minutes, you're no longer comparing systems. You're comparing feelings. Artificial intelligence, AI doesn't have this problem. It doesn't forget what the baseline was. It doesn't need the change to be justified. It doesn't care how much money you spent. But here's the crucial point. AI is not an authority. It is a tool. And tools are only useful when we understand their limits. If you ask AI to replace your judgment, you will be disappointed. If you ask it to support your judgment, you gain something powerful. The real problem in audio perceptions for audiophiles isn't subjectivity. Subjectivity is inevitable. The problem is unexamined subjectivity masquerading as truth. This is why optimization discussions so often collapse into tribalism. Digital versus analog. Measurements versus ears. Objectivists versus subjectivists. All false binaries. Good optimization always combines three things: measurement to understand constraints, analysis to explore trade-offs, and listening to make value judgments. Remove any one of these and the system degrades. AI simply strengthens the middle part. It helps translate measurements into likely audible consequences. It helps surface interactions humans miss. It helps prevent us from solving the wrong problem very precisely. What it cannot do is decide what matters to you, and it never should. In this series, I'm not going to tell you that AI will revolutionize sound quality. If you have enjoyed so far, please consider subscribing, ringing the bell, and liking. Thank you for helping. That's nonsense. What it can do, when used carefully, is reduce wasted effort, reduce self-deception, and shorten the path between intent and result. It helps you spend less time chasing myths and more time listening to music. In the next episode, we'll look at measurements, room correction, and why most people misread graphs, even when the data is perfectly accurate. Because the biggest mistake audiophiles make isn't trusting their ears. It's trusting their interpretation of what they hear. If you want to listen better, you first have to think better. That's where I helps. And that's where this series begins. Please subscribe and ring the bell to make sure you do not ever miss this series.